Gotta stay. Put me some in the can of the dry. Riding in spaceship like Bunny and Clyde. Don't worry, baby, I keep me some fire. Shenanigans and Birkin, she cannot decide. The ladies Mercedes, here goes the surprise. Don't sleep on Miss Lady, help ride. Back while I'm gripping her side. Big and mad back, this ain't regular size. You really fly, we like pelican guys. You ain't slick, I can tell her the skies. Upgrade at my wrist, put her gas in the sky. She think I might sign her and change her whole life. I told her to goggle and work on her eyes. Everything litty, I love when it's hot. Turned to the city, I broke out the knot. Got some more millies, I keep me a knot. I created history, it made me a lot. He tried to diss me and end it on Fox. We call them Chaucer, cause they gonna chop.
Money, Anna, bring them into this. I took the Billy Cool back, then I hopped in the Cayenne. And maybe sit there in the road, wow.
Tonight's the night for football, everybody. The bright lights are on, the stage is set, and the crowd is ready. It's Monday Night Primetime on EA Sports. Straight ahead with a nationwide audience tuning in. It's a Monday Night Primetime showdown between the Philadelphia Eagles and the New York Jets. We're playing under the lights and some heavy rain here tonight. And here we go on Monday Night Primetime. Set to return it. Here's Will Shipley. And this will give him some decent field position here, partner. And this gets out to the 30. Hold on a sec. We've got an Eagle hurting pretty good out there. And they're going to head out to look at him. All right, let's get this show on the road. It is 1st and 10. They run it with Saquon Barkley. This is tough running in this weather out there, but he keeps the feet moving, gains 3. 3 yards on the first down play, and that brings up 2nd and 7.
I don't think that's the amount that they were looking for there, Kate. Going to lead to some shuffling around here in the playbook. On a more aggressive call on 2nd.
After the 3-yard pickup, it's 2nd and 7.
63. Anyone else?
Here's another carry for Barkley. Fights his way through a tackle. Has a hole left, room to run. He does it, touchdown Philadelphia. The Eagles take a 6-0 lead right away. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. Well, Brock, they could prove me wrong, but I don't think touchdowns are going to come that easily the rest of this game. But starting out, we all welcome the quick score.
Yeah, not a lot of energy exerted, right? Not a lot of their cards shown just yet. They only got a couple plays into their strategy, and they found pay dirt. There's a lot of mystery still to come with what they're going to do schematically. A lot of answers have to be found defensively.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. And this is going to bounce out of the end zone, so they will set up shop at the 35.
Their own 35-yard line.
Nice field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10.
Ready? Go!
Here's Brees on the ground for the first time. And he'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
That's the kind of yardage that's not going to kill this drive on the first play, but it does put you a little bit behind schedule. Now 2nd down becomes critical because nobody wants a 3-and-out.
Takes the 2nd down snap. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's tackled after gaining a handful. I'm not going to call this a must-score drive here in this first quarter, Brock, but when your opponents start the game with 6, it feels like you need some sort of answer.
You need a response. right? You need a response. You don't
Yep.
need all these home runs or big highlights. You just need to keep matriculating that ball down the field.
Throwing now on 3rd and 2. It's caught by Wilson. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. A gain of 15 there. And that's good for a Jets first down.
The analytics will tell you a handful of these kind of plays per game, and your odds per drive of scoring go way up.
First down from the 42.
Broncos, ready.
A give left side for Hall. He's going to keep his balance long enough to get ahead for a gain of 5. He made him 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4.
Here's Hall once more. And whatever they were trying to do there is not going to work. Defenders all over it, so they take him down for a loss.
I'm going to guess at some point, whether it's in the huddle or over there on the bench on the sidelines after this drive, QB is going to go apologize to that running back. He just ran him into one heck of a negative play.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here.
Let's go. 19 Lions. 60 Vikes. Ready.
3rd and long for him here. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
This is why we hear about closing speed so often when you evaluate players. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released and alter that throw.
And this kick works out pretty well for him. It's blown dead at the 12.
At their own 12-yard line.
Eagles getting ready. Here comes 1st and 10.
Great. Set. Anyway, up. Hey. No touch.
Starting on the ground here with Barkley. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
This offense is now left with some ground to make up a little bit here on 2nd down. After that drive starts with a very minimal gain.
Need a better result than that last run. It's 2nd and 8. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. And he let his man just a little too much there. That's an incomplete pass. His first target doesn't lead to his first catch. And that's going to leave him with a tough 3rd and long.
That's what I call complimentary defense right there. That pressure by the group up front, that leads to the incompletion and to the benefit of that secondary.
On 3rd down, it's Hurts. Hits his running back. And he gets it up close to the 25 before he's out of bounds. A 9-yard gain and good for a first down.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your 3rd downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
Hey, let's go. Trimmer.
First down throwing for Hurts. He's got Devontae Smith. He's out in the clear. 40. At the 20. It's a Philadelphia touchdown. The Eagles get another 6 to make this a 13-0 game. It's a Devontae Smith touchdown. So, Brock, this offense looking sharp here in the first half as they extend their lead.
You know, and when things are going well, sometimes you really just get into a groove. And this is a unit that's putting the pieces together.
This one is up and good. And the Eagles drive out to an early 14-0 lead.
Jake Elliott to kick off for Philadelphia.
Elliott's all set for the kickoff. And no return as this bounces through the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Nice field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start this one out with Hall. Robbed by the first guy he met. No gain on that first down run. And It's not just some quarterbacks, Brock, you got to have short memories. You tell me this too, defenses need them sometime as well.
Yeah, 100%. You give up a big run, well, too bad. No time to dwell on it because you got to line up, buckle up that chin strap, and try to knock them backwards.
Bails out of the pocket quick. And that looks great flying through the air, Brock, but problems on the business end as it falls to the ground. Third down coming up.
Once that quarterback broke the pocket, kind of turns into like a zone read option a little bit. Kate, you got a couple choices. Keep it yourself or try to force the throw. There was nowhere to go. He really should have used his legs.
And this is across midfield. They're going to stop him at that 45-yard line. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
And they're going to be humbled here on first down. Going to wind up losing yards on this play. Well, the extra blocking sure didn't spring that run the way they hoped it would, Brock.
In the old West Coast system, you called 12 personnel, 2 tight ends, Tiger. Tiger package comes on the field. That was a whole lot more like a kitty cat effort there.
Come on, set!
Throwing on seconds. And that falls incomplete.
There's the importance of staying in phase as a defender. He was all over him in coverage, and that really did help force the incompletion.
Ready, set!
No connection on the last play. Now it's third down.
60 Maverick! Down! Ready!
Here he goes, third and long. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. And the Eagles take over after forcing the first turnover of this ball game. Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, first and 10. I'll start this one out with Barkley. And they shove him out. Looks like he got about 6 before they did so. It's second down.
Cool thing about a drive starting run like that, Kate, is it really just gives you every opportunity to play with whatever you want to do. But as for me, I like to reward that runner. Give it to him again and see if he can get you a new set of downs.
Run picks up 6, so that means it's second and 4.
Ready, set! 180, 180! No touch!
They go to Barkley again. And they nearly picked up the first down with that effort. Ball advances to the 45-yard line.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
Ready, set! 180, 180! No touch!
Now pitch it to Barkley. Trying to get this one outside, Brock, but he did not make it. They stopped him right at the line of scrimmage. He's short.
It's weird to say, and it certainly won't show up on the stat sheet, but I want to give a lot of credit to that runner. Even though it didn't gain a yard, it actually took a heck of an effort just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And he drives this one into the pouring rain.
The Jets take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
All right, working from the gun to start. First and 10.
Panther 60! Panther 60! Ready!
Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. That's caught. It's Breece Hall. By a man. He's in the clear. And he's going to be escorted out right along that 35-yard line. The end result there, 15 yards and a first.
Something out of nothing, Kate, that may as well be listed on his resume because he's so good at it. Caught that one near the line, and after that it was all him, turning a modest pass to far more than a modest gain.
All set to go now from the 35. First down, play action. Blitz is there, and he goes down. And the big play drives them backwards. Second down coming up.
At the 27-yard line.
Ready! Trap 60! Trap 60! Step. Ready! 60 Eagles! 6!
Back to throw. Quick slant taken in by Waddle. And that will not be enough for a first down.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason this is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
Throw here, third down. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Trying to find Jalen Waddle. And they're going to be stuck with a 4th and long. On again comes Ryan Wright for another punt. And he's getting nothing on that return. They wrap him up almost at the exact spot that he fielded that punt. Getting a pistol formation here first as they come to the line. The play fake now hurts to throw. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the drive begins with a rough first step there. That's going to bring up second down.
When they were in their defensive meetings this week, that's exactly how you draw it up. Play sound zone defense. Give that quarterback nowhere to go. Let that pass rush get home.
Through one on Monday Night Primetime. It's the Eagles soaring to an early lead. More from MetLife coming right up. Ready now for our second quarter. The Eagles have the football. They have second and pretty long here. Hurts now from the gun. It's incomplete. Should have been a catch downfield, but off his hands and to the ground it goes.
I hate to be Mr. Negative guy, but a sack 2 plays ago, an incompletion right there. All that's missing, Kate, is an interception on this play, and you're going to hand this quarterback a misfortune trifecta that nobody wants.
And that's a win for the pass rush. Hit as he threw it, leads to the incompletion. 4th down coming up.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Continuing to move past the 45. And a good return as he gets him up across midfield and into enemy territory. Ball just a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10. Shotgun snap, a give to Hall. And he's able to stay on his feet through that run, at least until the tackle stops. And he picked up close to 4. Halfway there on 1st down, that brings up 2nd and 5.
You know, Kate, that might be a little bit of a disappointing run to him. He wanted more. They always do. But that's exactly what they were after offensively to get this drive moving.
To the left side and reeled in by Wilson. And he's taken out of bounds as he gets it down near the red zone. Big gainer here as he picks up 20. And it's good for a New York 1st down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted him. They wanted him on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably. Then go to work after that.
And he'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
Here we go. Mustang 19. 70 Timberwolf. 19 tight.
Pass play now. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete.
It's been plays like that that have kept this game scoreless, and they can't execute. They will continue to do so.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down.
Come on.
They'll air it out on 3rd. Jump off caught by his back. And they bring him down at the 18-yard line.
You can earn your money in the NFL in all sorts of different ways, but defensively, in a league where you're just not hitting as much in training camp, You're not tackling as much as they got to in the old days. When you can make a play in the open field, keep them short like that, I promise you some money will follow.
Carlson's kick is good. And that gets him back to within 11.
What a season this guy is having. Yet to miss on a field goal this entire year. And I really hope I didn't just jinx him.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. He's going to return it from a yard or two deep. And he's brought down just beyond that 25-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
Philadelphia settled and ready. It's 1st and 10. Barkley off the pistol give. And he's able to stay on his feet through that run, at least until the tackle stops him. He picked up close to 4. First down play, nets him 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5.
That's one of those sneaky little runs, Kate, that gets you enough yards to create some doubt into that defensive coordinator. You could stick to the ground, you could throw beyond the sticks, and really create some indecision now defensively.
Oh, try forcing it to the slant. It's intercepted. Quincy Williams has it. And he's going to score on the pick six. Touchdown, New York. Throwing at the depth where linebackers coming to play in coverage, partner. And sure enough, one of them jumps it and takes it to the house.
If you say that, you know what I think about? I think about the depth finder on my fishing boat. You're absolutely right. This is where these linebackers love to lurk and could do some serious damage.
A quick chance at redemption after that pick six as it's sent away. And he takes it in the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 35-yard line.
Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Barkley on the shotgun handoff. This is tough running in this weather out there, but he keeps the feet moving, gains 3. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on 2nd down.
That is simply a stay-on-schedule kind of run. Nothing more, nothing less, just right on schedule.
4 yards on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 6. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Escapes the pocket. An all-around tough play for him. He took a shot on the release, and it definitely affected the throw. It's incomplete.
And this is why scouts talk about a player's closing speed, Kate. You know, once he senses the pressure, he's getting rid of that ball. It takes a player who can close quickly to get to him before it's released. And that sure altered the throw.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. They'll throw 3rd and long. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
You never, ever, as an offense, like 3 and outs, Kate, but you really don't like them on 3rd down when you throw into tight coverage like that. Got to manufacture a better look.
And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. That's taken at the 15. And before that return amounts to much, they bring him down.
Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Jets getting ready for this 1st and 10.
Let's go now.
They'll come out throwing. Completed over the middle. And he's going to be stopped after reaching up to the 33. It's a gain of 11 there. That picks up the 1st.
That's good for Jets. 1st down. 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
The play fake. He'll throw. To the left side. It's pulled in by Waddle. And this is going to go as a gain of about 3 before he's met and escorted out.
Well, Well, he saw his guys pick up the blitz. Well, he felt them pick it up anyway if he wasn't looking at him. But with their effort on his behalf, I think this QB felt owed to them in the group up front to find somebody to get a completion, so that effort up front wasn't in vain.
And he's going to just get this across midfield before he's taken out of bounds. That'll go for an 18-yard gain. And that's good for a Jets first down.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
First and 10 now from the 46. He's going to run out of the pistol with Hall. And he's not going to be happy picking himself back up after this. They're sent backwards on first down. The presence of those tight ends works both ways, Brock. You know this. Gives them more blockers up front, but it also clues the defense in to be ready for that run.
Yeah, you could put 7 blockers up there, even put 8, I don't know, 9. All the blockers in the world, but if they don't work in concert together to create a lane, it doesn't matter.
Short pass brought in. He's down to the 36 with almost enough for that first down.
Yeah, these in cuts maybe aren't the hardest throws from a degree of difficulty, Kate, but it does take some courage as a quarterback to throw into congested spaces, but it can pay big dividends.
Third and a lone yard coming up.
Mustang 19. Tag.
Looking to throw on 3rd and 1. Just got it away before the hit, but it doesn't matter. It's incomplete. 4th down coming up.
The numbers tell us pretty clearly, you get to 3rd and long, extra long, it's really hard to stay on the field. That's disappointing because that was 3rd and manageable and an incomplete.
Well, you kind of understand this one, right? Would have been a long field goal in the rain, but instead of trying that, they're going to go for it. And his short gain gets them a new set of downs.
As a quarterback, you just know in that situation when you go for it on 4th down, it may mean sometimes thrown into double coverage. If you're going to go for it, at least give your guy a shot to make a play. And against really long odds, he came up with a big-time catch.
He'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8.
Sometimes you just feel like in the background of every ho-hum run is a bigger play that just needed one more component. Hit that extra block a little longer, find the lane quicker. The defender may be a half step late, and this could have been much, much more exciting.
Here we go. Here we go.
He'll look to throw. He'll set up the screen here for Hall. He's going to be out of bounds. Looks like a yard or 2 short of the 25.
Well, this is the type of game we've come to expect from him as a runner, toting the ball, but he's just as adept at turning the screen into the same kind of yardage, too.
Third and a lone yard coming up.
Come on. Come on. Set. Cougar 19. Ready.
He's going to throw this one. That one finds his man, Ingram. And he gets this down to the 13-yard line. Give him 13 on that play. And it's good for a New York first down.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
And he's not going to manage to get back to the line even. Tackled for a loss. We've got 2nd and 11.
This is one of those situations, Kate, where I watch the body language of the running back because it'd be very easy for him to raise his hands up, look to the sideline in his O-line and go, what am I supposed to do there? There was nothing, no time at all to try and escape and react. Instead, it goes backwards.
Makes the catch. And it's another first down on this drive. Man, this time they're in the 1st and goal.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Breaking the huddle. Here's 1st and goal.
19 Tiger. 19 Tiger.
Trying to throw this from the gun. And they will score. Touchdown, New York. The Jets take the lead just before halftime. Well, we all know that he's somebody they like to have working down near the end zone, Brock, and there is so many ways they know how to use him down there.
Yeah, things are constantly different down there when you're trying to defend him, which is what makes defensive so tough, borderline impossible at times. He can make the smallest little tweaks to his route just like a receiver would. It's a totally different animal, a nightmare for these defenses.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. And he'll decide to pass on the return here and take the touchback instead.
Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
A little less than 30 seconds to go as they begin this drive. The Jets take their first timeout. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. A little less than 30 seconds to go as they begin this drive. On 1st and 10, it's Hurts. Jets bringing pressure, and they got it. Nice work by the defense to start this drive out. It's a sack on the first play. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their first. They'll have 2 left to work with before halftime. Blood in the water defensively after that sack. This offense facing 2nd and 23. Hurts looking to throw. And he brings it in, but got too close to the sideline there. They're rolling him out of bounds. We've got 3rd down.
Really had to find a way to get that short completion because now you're staring at 3rd and extra long. That's a place no QB in this league wants to be.
Last pass unsuccessful. Let's see what they do on 3rd down. They bring Wilson in motion right. 3rd and long for him here. It's another first half mistake. He's intercepted again. Quincy Williams has it. And the Jets will have a shot at least a field goal here. Maybe the end zone after that return.
Well, that's now 2, Kate, that they've gotten him for picks in this game, and he's got to be careful. Right? You've got to protect the football. It is the greatest treasure you have as an offense. And this defense, well, they've got 2 in their pocket, and you know they're going to be going after number 3. Move the chain! You got to move them chains! Build momentum. Keep that defense on its heels.
Only time left for one more snap, Brock, so they're going to run out their field goal unit. Angling this one in from the right hash, the challenge here. Carlson's kick is good. And that'll double their lead to 6.
And with that one, you're going to see some salty, foul moods in that locker room. You hate all turnovers. But that one led to 3 points, and you hate those even more.
So it's a touchback on the kickoff, and we're going to get one final snap here in the half. This is going to be the play that takes us to halftime. Throw in here just before halftime. It was there, but he couldn't hang on. That's incomplete. That's halftime of this contest. We'll join both teams in taking a short break. More of the NFL on EA Sports in just a moment. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. And we'll have to wait at least a few moments longer for an exciting start to this second half. We've got a touchback. Nice field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. They start the half with a give to Hall. He'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. Only gets a yard there to make it 2nd and 9.
Gain of a yard brings up 2nd and 9.
Let's go now.
At the 36-yard line.
Here's a throw. Has him on the quick hitter. And they're going to bring him down just a moment before he's able to break it across midfield. That's an 11-yard pickup, and it gives them the first down.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Here we go. Cat.
From the gun, it's Hall. This is tough running in this weather out there, but he keeps the feet moving, gains 3. Solid 4-yard gain there, and now they've got 2nd and 6 coming up.
A gain of 4. It's now 2nd and 6.
Dropping back to throw. He finds Ingram, working downfield here. He gets this all the way to the 25 before they stop him. Give him 24 on that play. And that's good for a Jets first down.
1st and 10 at the
a weapon offensively when you've got a big tight end that can stretch the field vertically. Not a lot of DBs have the size to cover him. They tried to get it to him in that spot where he could win it, but unfortunately, no connection to be made.
And this is headed the wrong way. They're going to lose yards here, and it's going to bring up third down. Their dominance against his ground game rolls on, Brock. Add another stop to what's going to be some real nice film for them to watch.
How many times do you think in your lifetime, Kate, you've heard from a defensive coordinator, job number one is?
Stop the run.
And they've been doing it.
Ready.
To the air on third and long. This has been a trend, yet another interception. And the Eagles take possession as he makes his fourth interception of our season. Eagles getting ready. Here comes 1st and 10. From the pistol, Hurts. It is Kupp, left side. And some excellent work to drive them all the way up past the 30-yard line. And it's a gain of 12 on that one. And that's good for an Eagles first down.
Guys, I really like this receiver on that drag route in particular. Why? Because he's a guy that creates after the catch. They don't close quickly. He can take it to the house.
First down now, ball at the 33. They'll go from the gun with Barkley. Can't slip that initial tackle. Stops made for no gain on that first down play.
These big D tackles in this league, they love weaponizing their size right in the middle of the field. It is so hard to clear lane against him. And once he got his paw on him, it was dead on arrival.
First down run netted him nothing. Here is 2nd and 10. Hurts setting up to throw. He almost threw another one. Back-to-back throws now that should have been picked off, partner, as he continues making risky decisions with the football.
I can say this definitively. That is not the way you thank your defense for giving you the football. Don't follow that other quarterback steps and toss it right back to him. He got away with one.
Avoided one crisis on the dropped pick. Now they're facing another 3rd and long. Here he goes, 3rd and long. On the move, headed right. Defense is too much here. The Jets drag him down. And that is 3 sacks for this defense in this contest, and that one forces a 4th down. The Eagles are in punt formation. It'll be Daniel Whelan doing the honors. He has it at the 33. And he's brought down before the return gets far.
The Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line.
Nice field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. They start to drive the ball. And he'll stay upright through this rain, but not. Through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs. It gets the better defenses in this league.
The right side, caught by Wilson. Past the 25. And he will take this across. Touchdown, New York. The Jets go up by 12. Garrett Wilson with the touchdown. Not a lot of processing time from the moment he pulled it back to the moment he made that throw, Brock. But I think we can all agree he made the right choice not to hand it off, and then the right read on that throw.
Yeah, he sure did, Kate. Kind of reminds me of the option quarterbacks of our day growing up, right? Those guys that made that pitch, and it was just second nature. They were on the run, guys all around. Didn't matter. He's going to put that pitch right on them. The great RPO quarterbacks of today do exactly the same thing with their throws.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. And not liking what looked like ahead of him there, Brock, so he's going to take a knee, and this is going to come out to the 35-yard line.
At their own 35-yard line.
Eagles in a good spot here as they come up to the line, 1st and 10. Send one of the tight ends in motion right. First down, around with Barkley. 2 on the pickup there, and it's going to be 2nd and 8.
Brings up 2nd and 8 at the 37-yard line.
Now Hurts. It's a screen to Barkley. And they'll stand him up and sit him down at the line.
That's a defense's goal, right, Kate? Just get us to 3rd down so we can have a chance to get off the field. And that was a good adjustment on that stop in particular, when the back ended up being the target, and they were able to keep him short of the sticks.
Third down here, need 8 on the play.
63.
3rd and long, they're going to throw. He had it for a moment, but a complete defensive play to jar it loose, incomplete.
Well, that took some force right there. That took some serious defensive effort to force the incompletion. You're not going to see a lot of guys ever let go of the football when they got a 1st down right in their midst. But that force, that contact, separated man from ball.
Fields this at the 19. And a nice return out of him. They have it a little further up past their own 30.
Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 32-yard line.
Okay, ready?
1st and 10 from the 32.
Ready.
Hall running between the tackles. Now he continues to find no traction on the ground here, Brock, as they bring him down for no gain.
You know, Kate, over the years, I've heard running backs say there's just sometimes you got to run into darkness. Just go where there is no lane and hope that something opens along the way. That linebacker said, not this time.
Well, nothing doing on the last run. It's 2nd and 10.
Ready. 18 Cardinal. 18 Cardinal. Let's go.
They're throwing it. Dumps it off to his running back. Ball with the 1st and still going. And he's finally brought down just a yard shy of midfield. Ball just a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10. They're going to try and throw it here. That'll be incomplete to start the new set of downs.
Hey, Kate, I know it's unrealistic to expect a 100% completion rate from anywhere on the field. But in this close, you really shouldn't be missing too many throws. Those need to be borderline automatic.
They'll
throw on 2nd and 10. He misfired on that one. It's behind his man.
You know, when we were growing up in the backyard, we call them alligators. 1 alligator, 2 alligator, 3 alligator. He needed another alligator in order to get that ball off. Credit the defense for forcing the incompletion.
Throw here, 3rd down. He puts some juice on a deep throw down the middle.
Kate, as a quarterback, that is so rough. Incomplete, incomplete, incomplete. You're going to go to the sidelines, you're going to look at that tablet, and you're going to try to figure out how in the heck do we turn this around.
Let's see what he can do on the return. And some textbook work covering that punt. It is stopped after almost nothing on the return. Now it looks like one of the Eagles is having some trouble out there and is in need of some assistance. Philadelphia settled and ready. It's 1st and 10. Hurts now from the gun. Running deep behind the line. Oh, the ball is out! And there it is. He just kept choosing to go backward, partner. And now he's all the way in his own end zone for a safety. Cannot believe it. So following the safety, Brock, they're on now to begrudgingly send it away with a free kick. Hauls in this punt at the 8. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down. offense ready to get going here. It's 1st and 10. Hall takes it straight ahead. He'll stay upright through this rain, but not through that hit as he's tackled after about a 1-yard gain. Manages just a yard on 1st down. Now it's going to be 2nd and 9.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Finds him over the middle. He's going to get this one into enemy territory to the 47. This one goes for an even 25 yards. And it's good for a New York 1st down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
Here we go.
Pass play on 1st and 10. Makes the catch, but does not do it in bounds. Looks like he came down on that sideline. 2nd down coming up.
Kate, as soon as this quarterback broke containment, I know your eyes and my eyes went the same place. Can you find a big play down the field? Unfortunately, there was not one to be had.
It's going to be a short pickup down to the 45. Andrew Mukuba attacking to make that stop. So just 1 quarter to go on Monday Night Primetime. The Jets have multiple scores here and on their way to closing this one out.
Ready up.
A less than ideal 3rd and 8 here.
Let's go now. 60 is go.
They'll throw 3rd and long. That sails over his target, incomplete, and now it's 4th down.
That is a DB's best friend, pressure. That pressure earned that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target and hit him to alter that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
And this one's going to approach the 10, but looks like it's down right at the 13-yard line. First call here coming from the shotgun. Operating from the gun, here's Hurts. That won't be caught outright. It's incomplete. Not on the same page with his tight end. And it's going to be 2nd down.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here comes 2nd and 10. They bring Wilson in motion right. Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. Just couldn't hang on through the contact. So they're left facing 3rd and long.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
Flushed out of the pocket. And even on 3rd down, he sees no choice other than to get rid of it. Not the play they wanted. It's going to be 4th down. They'll send out the punting unit. And this will mark his 5th kick of the night. And he gets his guys a few yards before they bring him down on the return.
Jets take over 1st and 10 at their own 47-yard line.
Nice field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. Coming right is Hall. And there's a sign of life from the ground game. He's forward with a nice pickup. Pickup of 8 on the run. And that sets up 2nd and 2.
That run may not have gotten you a first, but sure, nice little run to set the table.
Come on, come on.
They give on 2nd to Hall. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Going to the ground again on 1st. And this give not as fruitful. They're on him quicker this time. He's not going to get back to the line of scrimmage.
There's corners in this league that really love to cover. There's corners in this league that really love to hit. Corners that can do both, those are the guys that make themselves some serious money.
Hawk, set. Ranger. 70 Ranger.
Changing things up. They're going to throw now. He intercepts it. That is exactly what they needed. Picked off by McWilliams. And the Eagles have some new life in the fourth.
Well, we're watching the defense not just generate turnovers, but really add to them. A return like that, think about it. That's 4 or 5 plays that you just saved your offense from as they try to make that interception, yet another one, count.
From the 40-yard line now. This is 1st and 10. Shotgun snap for Hurts. Completed over the middle. And he's going to be stopped, but not before he gets it down to the 14. Gain of 26 yards there. And that'll be good for a Philadelphia first down.
First down, Eagles.
Looking inside the red zone. Short pass brought in. And he will wind up out of bounds after a first down gain of right around 3 yards.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason. And one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Kiss is made in close. And he gets it in. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles parlay the interception into points. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
All right, that lead cut down to 8 after that score, and the kick is away. This return starts at the 5. He lost the football, and they steal it back on the return. And they limit the damage on the return, but it is still a turnover.
Just look at everyone flying down the field. And when they fly down the field, they got 2 things in mind, Kate. Number 1, get the returner down. And number 2, separate the ball if you can. It's rare that it happens, but it sure is exciting when it does.
He rolls to his right, going all the way to the end zone here. And he scores. Touchdown, Philadelphia. The Eagles down by only 2 in the fourth. Looking to tack on 2 more. The Eagles and Hurts to the line.
The Eagles will set up for the 2.
All right, they're going to throw for it. And the call to go for it not awarded as the pass falls incomplete. We're down to a 2-point difference as they send the kick away. And that kickoff is into and then out of the end zone. So we got a touchback. This drive will start at the 35. Nice field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. Not deterred by that pick. He's throwing again. They did it! He made the interception! And the Eagles have some new life in the fourth.
Not just a bad decision, frankly. And really, as a quarterback in this moment of the game, you got to know it's not a time to take a risk. Cannot be throwing out life preservers and giving that other team, your opponent, a chance like he just did.
First down throwing for Hurts. Finds him on the crossing route. And they can't bring him down until he gets into that red zone at the 19. They'll pick up 14 yards on that one. And that's good for an Eagles first down.
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. A lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes teams break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
Dumped off to his running back. That screen sniffed out quickly, shut down behind the line.
I I know coordinator and quarterback going to be upset with that first down because you call a screen on first, you're thinking stay ahead of schedule. Even a minimal gain to stay on pace, but instead, the defense creates a negative play and sets them back behind the sticks.
Here's Hurts. Completed to his running back. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down.
I know that completion doesn't move the chains, but I love it nonetheless. You make sure that defense is aware of every eligible player going out. And this time it was out of the backfield with the running back that shows he's adept at catching it as well.
Short yardage situation here. It's 3rd and 2. Toss play to Barkley. And he is into the end zone for a Philadelphia touchdown. The Eagles take a 4th quarter lead. Saquon Barkley, the touchdown. Elliott on now to attempt the point after. Bad weather doesn't affect that extra point. It's good. And the Eagles jump in front now by 5. Elliott's all set for the kickoff. And that one bounces through the end zone for a touchback. Nice field position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10. Shaking off the pick quickly. He's going to throw. That's incomplete left side. Trying to find his tight end. So it'll be 2nd down. He's been a frequent target throughout this game, Brock. We've seen that coverage tighten up a little bit more on him every time the ball's thrown his way.
Well, hasn't taken him off the board completely. He's still beating them for some catches, but that heightened focus defensively does lead to moments like that one where what would normally be a catch falls incomplete.
Caught on the comeback route. And he has him right near midfield here. Looks like about a yard short. They'll get 14 yards and a new set of downs. Oh, just a yard shy of midfield. 1st and 10.
At the 49-yard line.
Working now from the gun. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable. It creates space to take that shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now.
Hawk 70. Panther up 19.
They are throwing it again. He's going to push one deep down the right. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact.
Well, that was almost one of those nice chunk plays you like to see in the NFL, Kate, before he was able to recover and provide the hit and ultimately dislodge the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays down the field.
Pick up a 5 on that play, and that's good for a Jets 1st down.
You know, Kate, they say a dog is a man's best friend. Tight end that moves the chains on 3rd down, that's a QB's best friend.
They've got 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning left for them. We've got 1st and 10.
Cowboy 80.
Sticking to the air here. Quick slant taken in by Waddle. And they get this down to the 28. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, 1st down.
Boy, they sure found the right route at the right time to hit the soft spot in that coverage. And that slant, it goes for big yardage.
So we're down to the 2-minute warning here from New York. Jets facing a 5-point deficit. All set now. 1st and 10. He's going to throw it again. Has him on a quick hitter. And he gets absolutely pumped to end that one.
There's no question, Kate, that the big plays down the seam or with big tight ends a fan favorite, but it's those type of catches right there. The short yardage, it gets good coverage, contested catches that really make tight ends a locker room favorite.
That's complete to Wilson. And he stops cold at the spot. Ooh, he paid for that one, but hey, still enough for that 1st down.
Jets. First down.
Mustang 19.
1st and 10 at the 15.
Back to throw. Same guy, Wilson again. And that play is brought to a halt, they're going to say, at the 5-yard line. Timeout taken by the Eagles. That's going to be their 1st. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game. offense with an enviable spot to be in. 2nd and inches. Setting up to pass. And will he? No, he's not going to escape. They take him down on a pivotal play late in this ball game. Philadelphia going to spend its 2nd timeout. And they're still going to have one left at their disposal. Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9.
Ready? Go.
To throw. He's got it to him yet again. That is caught. And that's a solid stop there to limit the damage. Gave up some, but it's still 4th down. The Eagles decide to spend their 3rd and final timeout. And now they're powerless to stop that clock with a timeout at least. Their hand is forced here. They've got to get this. They're down 5.
18, Pioneer. 60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. 60 Bobcats, 60 Bobcats. Hey.
Here he goes. Got to have this on 4th down. And the man is there to knock it away. Great defense to not only deny that touchdown, but force this turnover on downs.
You know, Kate, I don't think I've ever met a defender that cares. All they want to do is get off the field. Doesn't matter if it's a drop pass, deflection, breakup, even an interception. Challenged by the offense to get one more stop to get off the field, and that's exactly what they did.
Straight ahead, here's Barkley. Small gain there, maybe 3 if he's lucky to begin this drive. The Jets take their first time out. And they still have 2 available for them as we approach the end of this game.
Got to be rush hour, Kate, because there's a whole lot of traffic up the middle right there. He ran right into some gridlock, and he could only manage a few yards at most.
And the tight end's in motion left. On 2nd down, here's Barkley. And he's not going to get the first. He needed real close, though. Timmy Brown gets a gain of 5. 3rd down coming up. Timeout taken by New York. That's in 2nd. And they'll have just 1 left to burn now.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Third down, 1 yard to go. Here's another carry for Barkley. And fly, Eagles fly. He gets him the first down, partner, and that's going to seal this win.
Win the early battle. Get the leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
Victory formation here. Looks like they're going to take a knee on first down. Here's a designed run. Hurts. Back into that favorite formation they go, Brock, forcing those guys to burn a timeout. So the Eagles will fly out of here with a road win. Well, Brock, we both thought coming into this one that it was going to be a tough hill to climb, going up against one of the better defenses in the NFL. But these guys looked and said, Hill? What hill?
And you know what? I think that happened over the course of this week. Sometimes when you know what you're facing, Kate, and you're watching tape and it's a really good defense, you know you got to be on your game. And this offense certainly was today.